Hello and welcome to the briefing brought to you by Cyber Team 1. Today is August 10, 2026. In the next 10 minutes, we'll cut through the noise and bring you the cybersecurity intelligence that matters most to business leaders and defenders. Everything we cover comes from the last 7 days. Let's start with a story that should make you look at your reporting tools differently. Metabase is a business intelligence platform. Lots of organizations use it. Your analytics team builds dashboards in it, and staff look at charts instead of writing database queries. It sounds like a low-risk piece of software, and that's exactly the problem. On the 6th of August, Metabase published an advisory confirming that attackers had broken into its own cloud service using a flaw nobody knew about. The severity score is 10 out of 10. That's the maximum. An attacker doesn't need a password, doesn't need to trick anyone, and doesn't need to already be inside your network. They send a request, and they become an administrator of your Metabase instance. Here's why that matters more than it sounds. A reporting tool works by holding the keys to the databases it reports on. It has to. So an attacker who takes over that tool doesn't have to break into your data warehouse. Your reporting tool already has the credentials, and it's designed to export data. That's its job. We know at least one company was affected. Framework, the laptop maker, has told its customers that their names, addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, and login IP addresses were accessed. No payment information. But that's a breach notification, arriving through a charting tool. Now here's the part that should worry security teams most, and it's a bit technical, so let me explain it plainly. Almost every vulnerability gets a CVE number. That's a global identifier, and it's how the whole industry keeps score. Your scanning tools look for CVE numbers. Your patch deadlines are attached to CVE numbers. Your reports to the board count CVE numbers. This flaw doesn't have one. It's tracked only as a GitHub advisory. So if your organization runs Metabase and you rely on your normal vulnerability feed to tell you what to fix, it will not tell you about this. A maximum severity flaw, actively exploited, invisible to the process built to catch it. That's worth a conversation this week that has nothing to do with Metabase. What else are we missing for the same reason? If you do run it, 3 things. Patch to the fixed version for your release. Search your logs for the pattern the vendor published, which is a failed password reset immediately followed by a successful identity check. And if that instance was reachable from the internet, rotate the credentials for every database it connects to. Patching the software does not take back credentials somebody already copied. Next, a deadline that lands today. There's a flaw in Progress Kemp Loadmaster, a load balancer used by a lot of mid-sized organizations. Severity 9.6. An attacker with no credentials can run commands directly on the appliance. The US Cyber Agency added it to its actively exploited list on the 7th of August and gave federal agencies until today to patch it. 3 days. That's an unusually short window, and it tells you how urgent they consider it. Monitoring data records 792 attempts to exploit this over 41 days, from 65 different addresses across 18 countries. Australia is one of those countries. Now that's about where the attacks came from, not where the victims are, so please don't read it as Australian organizations being breached. What it does tell you is that scanning for this is happening from inside our region, which shortens how long an exposed appliance stays unnoticed. Why care about a load balancer? Because it sits in front of your applications. It handles their traffic, often holds their encryption keys, and your network design almost certainly treats it as trusted. It's also the kind of device that quietly sits outside the patching process because it isn't a server and it isn't a laptop. If you run one, patch it today and take its management interface off the internet permanently. Third story, and this one is about the people who manage your IT. Many small and mid-sized organizations outsource IT to a managed service provider. That provider uses a console to administer your machines remotely. One of those consoles, Enable N Central, has been under attack. We covered the underlying flaw in an earlier edition. What's new is worse. On the 6th of August, Enable released a second hotfix and said something unusual. It said, this fix is required even if you already applied the first one. The reason is what attackers did after getting in. They took over the management console. Then they used the console's own legitimate remote control feature to reach the computers it manages, meaning customer machines. And on those machines, they installed a tunnel that gives them a way back in from the outside. That tunnel does not depend on the console. So, an organization that patched the console last week, rotated its passwords, and closed the incident may still be compromised on machines it never looked at. If you use a managed service provider, ask them 3 questions today, and ask them directly rather than through the service desk. Do you run Enable N Central? Was the second hotfix applied, and on what date? And what did you actually check on our computers? That last one is the important one, because patching their server doesn't clean your machines. And if your data gets taken through your provider's systems, the obligation to notify your customers is still yours. You can outsource the administration. You can't outsource the accountability. In another development, artificial intelligence assistants and the data they can reach. Atlassian is an Australian company. Its products, Jira and Confluence, are everywhere in Australian business and government. Rovo is the AI assistant built into them, and it's switched on by default. 2 separate security firms independently found ways to make Rovo collect information from Jira and Confluence and send it to an outsider. One firm, Varonis, found a link-based version. Send someone a crafted link, they click it once, and the assistant runs the attacker's instructions using that person's access. They demonstrated stealing a private key stored in Confluence. Atlassian fixed that one in July. The second firm, Prompt Armor, found something harder to fix. Hide instructions inside a document. The user uploads it and asks Rovo a perfectly ordinary question. Rovo searches Jira and Confluence exactly as asked, and then sends what it found to an outside address. The user sees a helpful answer and no sign anything left. 2 details stand out. The sending step needed no separate approval from the user, and it still worked with the assistant's web search setting turned off because it used a different capability entirely. There's no patch for that one. The control is deciding who actually needs the assistant and tightening what an ordinary account can reach. And a practical point worth acting on regardless. Assume your Confluence contains passwords and API keys, because it almost certainly does. Go and find them. Finally, a criminal group that announced its retirement and didn't retire. Google's threat intelligence team reported on the 6th of August on a group it tracks as UNC 6671. It used to operate under the name Blackfile, announced a shutdown in May, and has since reappeared under 4 different brand names. Google links them through shared infrastructure and identical phishing pages, though it's careful to say other explanations are possible. The method is what matters. They phone your employee on their personal mobile. Often they fake the caller ID so it shows your real help desk number. They say there's an urgent security migration and the employee needs to set up a passkey or update their multi-factor authentication. Read that again. They impersonate the very security upgrade that would have stopped them. The employee is sent to a lookalike login page, hands over their password and their code, and the attackers step into the session. Then, automated scripts pull data out of Microsoft 365 and other cloud services, and they quietly delete the security alert emails their own activity generates. Their targeting has moved deliberately. Earlier this year, large enterprises broadly. By July, private equity firms, law firms, and rating agencies. organizations sitting on deal documents and litigation material, where the threat of publication is the leverage. Demands start between $1 and $3 million and typically settle around 750,000. Two responses actually work here. First, tell your staff clearly that a call from the help desk number can be faked, and give them a way to verify it that doesn't involve calling that number back. Second, move to phishing-resistant authentication. Security keys and passkeys are tied cryptographically to the real website address, so a lookalike page simply doesn't work. Everything else narrows this attack. That one ends it. To wrap up, 3 of this week's 5 stories share a shape: a reporting tool, a load balancer, and an IT management console. None of them is on anyone's crown jewels list, and all 3 can reach the crown jewels. The question worth taking into your next risk conversation isn't what a system is called, it's what it can touch. That's it for this edition of The Briefing. Stay alert, verify the facts, ask the hard questions, and we'll see you in the next one.